I started noticing things were slightly off in my apartment, like food going missing, lights I swear I turned off being on again. At first, I thought I was just tired, but then I found a tiny hole drilled into my bedroom wall, and that's when I realized someone was living inside my apartment. I moved into a cheap studio apartment last year. Nothing fancy, just a small one-bedroom in an old building in Portland. The rent was almost too good to be true, $630 a month, all utilities included. The landlord was an older guy, seemed decent, a little nosy maybe, but nothing out of the ordinary. The first few weeks were normal, but slowly, weird stuff started happening. I'd come home from work and the fridge would be slightly open. One time, my cereal box was empty. I was sure I hadn't finished it. Another time, my shampoo bottle was noticeably lower than it should have been. I told myself I was imagining things, that I was being paranoid. But one night, I came home early and I heard something. A faint creak from my bedroom. I stood frozen in the hallway. No lights were on and everything looked normal, but that sound wasn't in my head. I crept to the bedroom with my phone flashlight. There was no one inside. Nothing looked touched, but I felt something. A draft. That's when I noticed a small hole near the corner of my bedroom wall near the baseboard. It looked freshly drilled. I got closer. It was about the width of a pencil, leading straight through the drywall. I pressed my ear to it, and I heard breathing. I jumped back. I called the landlord immediately and demanded to know what was behind that wall. He acted confused at first, said there was nothing but a crawl space and that it was sealed years ago. The next day, I rented a small inspection camera, the kind plumbers use. I snaked it into the hole. What I saw made my blood run cold. A small mattress, empty food containers, a pile of clothes, a flashlight, and something worse, photos of me. Sleeping. There was someone living in the crawl space. The police came. They searched the crawl space but found it empty. Whoever it was, they were gone. But they'd been living there for weeks, maybe longer. They had a set of keys, a copy. I moved out that night. And to this day, I still wonder how many times I was being watched. Or worse, how close they came to coming out while I was asleep. But here's the part that really haunts me. 2 weeks later, someone used my Netflix account from that same apartment. I never gave the password to anyone. 10 years ago, my sister vanished without a trace. No body, no goodbye, just gone. But last night, I got a voicemail from her. And now there's something outside my door whispering with her voice, begging me to let it in. Would you open the door for someone you lost, even if they weren't human anymore? They never found her body. 10 years ago, my older sister Emily left our house one evening to walk to a friend's place just 2 blocks away. She never made it. Search teams scoured the town. Dogs, helicopters, volunteers, nothing. No witnesses, no struggle, no answers. Her face ended up on missing person flyers all across the state. For years, my parents held on to hope, but as time passed, that hope decayed into silence. Grief filled our home like a fog. Eventually, we stopped talking about Emily. Until last week. I was up late editing a short film for my college project when my phone buzzed with a notification. New voice message received. The number had no caller ID. I almost ignored it, spam. I figured, but something made me open it. The voice was shaky, weak, and all too familiar. Nate, it's me, Emily. I don't have much time. Please, don't come looking for me. They'll hear this. They'll come for you too. Then static. I froze. I must have replayed it 20 times. It sounded just like her, but older, like she'd been living in hell. I showed it to my parents the next morning. My mom burst into tears. My dad turned white. He said it was a sick prank that someone was trying to hurt us, but I could tell he believed it. Deep down, We all did. I checked the metadata. The file had no traceable source. Nothing. It was like it had just appeared in my voicemail box. No timestamp, no number. But there was one clue. At the very end of the message, hidden beneath the static, I heard something of faint rhythm, like clinking metal. I isolated the sound, enhanced it, and realized what it was: a railroad crossing bell. There's only one old train yard in our area abandoned for years. Against every warning in the message, I went there. The yard was overgrown, rusted, and dead quiet, like something was holding its breath. I expected to find nothing, but I found her bracelet. I'm not crazy. It was hers. A tiny gold chain with an E charm, the one she never took off. It was lying in the dirt behind an old service building. And that's not all. I found something else. A door, half covered in ivy with a rusted padlock. It looked like it hadn't been opened in decades, but there were fresh footprints in the mud. I broke the lock and opened the door. The smell hit me first: mildew, rot, something wrong. The hallway was pitch black, but I followed the sound, faint, static, like from a radio. Then I heard her voice again. Nate, they made me part of them. I can't leave, but they can. The lights flickered. And then I heard something else. Movement, heavy breathing, footsteps, way too many footsteps coming from all directions. I ran. Since that night, I've gotten 2 more voice messages. One was just breathing. The other was her again, whispering one sentence over and over. Don't answer the knock. Don't answer the knock. Don't. There's someone at my door right now. They've been knocking for 5 minutes straight. And I swear to God it's her voice. But there's something wrong with it. Would you let them in? Let me know in the comments, because I think she's still out there. Or at least something that used to be her. Would you let them in? Let me know in the comments, because I think she's still out there. Or at least something that used to be her. I thought I was getting a great deal. Instead, I found videos of someone watching me sleep. And the last one was recorded tonight. What would you do if your own life showed up on someone else's hard drive? I bought a used laptop off Craigslist. The guy selling it looked nervous, kept glancing over his shoulder like someone was watching. He handed me the laptop, took the cash, and got in his car without saying a word. I didn't think much of it. It was a good price. Everything worked. I reset the system, wiped the drive, and set it up for college. That was 2 weeks ago. Last night, while organizing files, I noticed something strange. A folder deep in the system drive, named with just a string of random characters. It wasn't visible at first. I only found it when I ran a space cleaner tool, hidden folder, encrypted. Naturally, I opened it. Inside were dozens of video files, all labeled with dates going back years. I clicked the most recent one. It was a video of a bedroom, my bedroom, same sheets, same crooked lamp, same posters. The footage was grainy and black and white, like it was filmed through a night vision camera. I was in the video, asleep. Someone was filming me while I slept. I checked the date, 2 nights ago. My heart dropped. I opened another file. Same thing, me sleeping. But this time, I wasn't alone. There was a figure standing in the corner, perfectly still, watching me. Tall, thin, no face visible, just standing there. I kept going. Some of the videos showed the figure getting closer. One night at the doorway, next night at the foot of the bed, then right next to me. One video was different. The camera was moving, slowly drifting through the house. Whoever was behind it was exploring, room by room. In that video, I saw something that chilled me. The camera paused in front of a photo of me and my parents. It zoomed in on my face, like it was studying me. I should have called the cops. I should have run. but I couldn't stop watching. My hands were cold. My stomach was in knots. I opened the oldest file. The footage was from a different house. Someone else sleeping. Different bed. Different person. Same figure. And that's when I realized the figure wasn't following me. The laptop belonged to it. It wasn't tracking me through the web. It was already here, watching. Maybe using the laptop as bait, just waiting for someone new to take the device home. I slammed the lid shut, unplugged it, threw it in a dumpster 5 blocks away. I thought it was over. That night, I barely slept. Every creak in the floorboards made me jump. I kept checking my closet, under the bed, even inside the vents. Nothing. But just now, I got an airdrop request on my phone. No name, just a file. Untitled.mov. I opened it. It's a live feed of my bedroom right now. And there's something new. A shape in the corner, just out of frame. It's not moving, but it's there. I can feel it. Would you sleep in that room again? Or would you burn the whole place down? Let me know in the comments, because I don't think I'm the only one that's watching. Closing message from Mr.Somberrift. If this story is unsettled, you let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. Got a true experience you want to share? Email us, mr.somberrift@gmail.com. Your nightmare might be our next story. Until then, sleep with the light on. And if you see 2